Smart cities I think is going to end up being the embodiment of how 5G starts in many respects. I think the smart cities has been something that we've had test cities after test cities for the last several years, right? As we think about how that ultimately comes together when you start to bring together the low latency and the the promises of those and the increased speed associated with 5G. And then you consider, okay, then the connectivity that ends up occurring between the smart cities and the intelligent transportation, and ultimately the way in which the fabric of the city itself is woven together because of the connectivity that 5G is providing. It's going to finally, I think, become much more mainstream. We're going to see it become a part of our lives. I think it's been still so tentative, still so nascent in its implementation up until really it's going to take a while still. And so we're very excited about some of the work that we've been doing in finding where are those places that we know that can deliver a pretty big bang for the buck here in terms of how do you get started. So in smart cities, we're very focused on smart buildings right now. The opportunity to take a smart building and weave it into the way in which an entire city is maintained and managed and how that interacts with the citizen's life. And they're going to work, they're going to and from, they're hanging out in that building, there are hundreds of thousands of people over a large city. How does that, the implementation really of this smart building provide a new way for managing energy consumption, changing the way in which the footprint of the consumption of the entire city changes. So as you start to build the stack inside of the building and you start to draw down that consumption and you start to change the way in which the human interacts with the building in and of itself, and then how that building interacts with the entire rest of the buildings in the city, you start to see this change in the way in which the sustainability, for example, inside of a city is being maintained. Smart City has a lot of promise to it, but I think we've got a little bit of a journey ahead of us, and we believe that Smart City is really going to start with smart building, and that's ultimately going to really manifest itself in the way in which 5G is implemented.